Uncle Sam told Kung Fu Kenny that you're playing the game too reckless, it's too ghetto. Let's get into part 2 of the symbolism and breakdown of the Super Bowl halftime. Now we have the American flag split in half with him in the middle. He was ready to squabble up and then Uncle Sam sent him a message. Now we're seeing the blue organized, representing justice. Be humble and you will get justice. In this formation, the men put their hands together bowing down to the fight. The fist balled up and the hand on top of the fist represents that, bowing down. And then Kendrck says this. The camera zooms out and the crowd says stage 1. Remember at the beginning of the performance where the game was loading in the crowd and the lights. Uncle Sam is trying to control the trajectory of this game. And this is why this is the stage 1 of the game, because they know that there's going to be some radicalization, fight, and outrage in the game. We told the pawn to tighten up. Now let's see what he does. What does KDOT do? He plays DNA. Hold on, forget all of this. The flag scatters. You just want me to be peaceful. Hold on, that's not inside my DNA. It's war and peace inside my DNA. That's why the music turned off and put the war and peace inside my DNA. I'm the player in the game. I'm choosing what I want to do. I'm paying attention to my DNA. You're trying to mold me into being something that I am not. I am that I am. Then the camera zooms out to the crowd that says, warning, wrong way. The game is trying to warn him that you're playing it dangerous. I'm trying to guide you and I'm trying to set you up for this influence. I put you in this position to play your part. Why are you not being humble? So now that he's remembering his lineage, now he's heavily stumping through the game fast. He didn't care about Uncle Sam saying tighten up. He didn't care about the wrong way symbol. He got the people marching through the streets. The next song that plays is Euphoria. Just because we down a rabbit hole right now. What's the first line of Euphoria? He didn't win that Pulitzer Prize for no reason. He has so many layers in his music. He was not just talking about Drake. As I read you these lyrics, think about him talking to the powers that be. Them superpowers getting neutralized. I can only watch in silence. The famous actor we once knew is looking paranoid and spiraling. I calculate that you're not as calculated. I can predict your angle. A pathetic master manipulator. I can smell the tails on you. He's taking it all the way to Julius Caesar's level with making these representatives mad. It's starting off with red, white, and then blue. We are still dealing with blood being shed, but there is protection, but justice is also coming up. Now, I'm thinking about Michael Jackson at this moment. I'm thinking about XXXTentacion. I'm thinking about all the people who were slain, all the artists, Bob Marley, all of them who had influence for the street. Remember, Michael Jackson's sister LaToya was very, very angry after her brother had passed. He was about to get his masters back from Sony in 2009, and then she knew if they had something to do with him passing, nobody is sticking up for him, she's going to try to. But everybody in the industry was telling her to pipe down. Not even mentioning another deducted player, Tupac. In the Euphoria song, he said, I see who you are and you're not real. I'm ready to go up against you and take that ring back. He said, have you ever walked your enemy down with a poker face? These posers trying to play with me. You want the dangerous me or the famous me? The next song that plays is Man at the Garden. But on the intercom, Uncle Sam says you done lost your damn mind. You have made the disagreeables angry. You have made these higher ups and elites angry. So far in the marches and in the performances, the red has led. Meaning blood is being spilt. There is sacrifices happening all over. Not just artists in the industry, but freedom fighters that's in the Americas. This makes me think about Fred Hampton. At 21, this man was a leader of the Black Panther Party and he was unalived, assassinated during a police raid. Most people think that one of his associates in the Black Panther Party, who was his friend, put a drug in his drink to where he couldn't wake up. So when the raid happened, he didn't get up out of his bed. They just pew-pewed him soon as they came in. I bring this up because we are in Caesar's palace. Caesar's friend Brutus joined the assassination plot against Caesar. Kendrck, I'm pretty sure you know this, but you need to be very, very careful with who is around you. The whole setting is a street. The lights smoke out. The only light that is on is this one. Now remember, you lost your mind. The way this man is sitting up on the street light is representing the hanged man. How his arms are behind his head. He's not facing down so he can see them below. He's facing right side up. The foot is hanging. In tarot, the hanged man represents surrender. Hanging there by your own choice. A sacrifice to the greater good. There's always a halo on the hanged man's head. And there's a halo in the only light that is working on the street. The camera is specifically pointed upwards at the hanged man and then it comes down and they're on the street. Kendrick starts off by saying, I deserve it all. Knowing the truth of what has been happening to the American people, he said, keep these peasants away from me. I don't even want to be associated with this industry. I'm the greatest of all time because I'm sacrificing myself. And he has all of his angels with him. They got the grills on, they vibing. Notice how this whole performance, there's only been quote unquote black people. His ghetto angels is still with him. And then all of a sudden they leave and he walks away. Then Uncle Sam comes in. He says, I see you bought your homeboys with your culture cheat code. Scorekeeper deduct one life with a serious face. This ties into the Fred Hampton story. When he was assassinated, this dismantled a core piece of the Black Panthers. Mind you, he was only 21 doing all of this. On the psyche of quote-unquote Black Americans. This made our ancestors and us feel like anything that we do, we are going to be stopped. In 1967, when all of the melanated leaders were coming together, COINTELPRO, a branch program in the FBI, main initiative was to discredit, disrupt, and destroy any black leaders or civil rights organizations. There are thousands of pages scattered across the database of the FBI on how they wanted to neutralize the fight for black rights. That deducting one life was put in for a reason to show this example of constantly dismantling our created organizations for revolution. So we continue to march through the streets, and that is exactly what they want. This frustrating program that they have placed on Black Americans. But Kendrick is sending a message saying, just because you're a gang, that does not mean that I can't outsmart you, which is about to lead us into part 3, where we are led to the big X.